Hi, everyone. I just thought it would be easier to do a video today. I'm just not in the mood to write an email, although I'm sure there will be some writing below this video in this email. But I just wanted to communicate with everyone that I am really excited about this new project, program, whatever the fuck you want to call it, which is my mystery school. Kelly's Mystery School, Calling in the Magic of the Inner Allies, is the official silly name that one makes of these things to let people know that there's a thing. But it really holds everything for me. It's got my name in it, which means it's really sourced from my life, from my life experience, but also through my studies, both my graduate school studies and my study, my religious, not religious. Oh God, I'm so sorry I said that word. But there's this really interesting uh, uh, part of that word, religio, that's important, which means connecting the dots. But also, really, this work is from my spiritual learning also over the last God, it's almost 30 years, 29 years ago when I walked into that Thich Nhat Hanh retreat. I've been someone who has been interested and curious about and seeking what's it all about, Alfie? The mystery of life. So that's why it's called Kelly's Mystery School. It's everything that holds that space that is outside of our left brain reason mind, the part that we learn through imagination and other things. That tippy tapping is my little 17-year-old dog, Stella. She's making the rounds. Anyway, I wanted to just tell you a little bit about this program. We are officially starting April 1st, which is April Fool's Day, which I really love. If you study the archetypal science of the tarot, the Fool is the first card. It is the zero card. It is the innocent one who walks into the world full of curiosity and mystery and goes on an archetypal adventure. And that's what we'll be doing this year. We'll be studying a lot of that, not the tarot necessarily, but really archetypes and journey and the esoteric aspects of life is what we'll be doing. So I'm just going to read a little bit from this document I have just to kind of help you understand what we're going to be studying. So um, this program, this year of study with me is going to do two things. First of all, it's for those of you who are really wanting to learn how to source from this vast and hidden intelligences of our unconscious. And that's the personal unconscious and the collective unconscious, as Carl Jung, coined that term. And I'm certainly a student of Jungian psychology. That's what I got my master's in. We're going to be doing that through looking at the power of myth and archetypes. We'll be focusing on the heroine's journey, which really is not for women at all. It's just the yin to the hero's journey, yang. And we'll be looking at both of those journeys and why both of them are important and why humans live into both of them. And they each have their own purpose and certainly journey. We'll be doing dream work. That is nighttime dream work. We'll be sitting with dreams in a way that I've learned. It's called dream tending. It's not quote unquote analysis. It is a different way to be with dreams. And that's really the way we are with the dreams and dream images and the dream narratives is very much what the whole year is about, which is this thing I called the opening angle, which is being with life from a different perspective. Like I said, it's not just the left brain, but it is the right brain perspective if you understand those terms. We'll be doing some inner journeying, something we call the dig. You can name it whatever you want, but it's a daily or a weekly practice where you go into your inner world and work with images and work with the figures and work with this inner allies, this council of inner allies that we'll be doing. And I'll be teaching you how to dialogue with the allies, and I'll be teaching you how to do all this kind of stuff. We'll also be focusing a little bit on human design and gene keys. If you're into that, great. If not, don't worry about it. It's not a huge focus of it, but it's something I utilize in helping people navigate their own journeys. So this program, this year with me, which will start April 1st and will go really until February of next year, that then, I'll create a new cohort. But what I'm looking for is in this is a real cohort, people who are committed to these practices, committing to learning this stuff. And uh, and and when we come into a cohort space, especially with this work, we are sitting with and activating and holding all of the figures and images that come through all of us. Kind of all of them become a collective council of allies in some ways. And it's really important during these times of such outer chaos to have a cohort like this, to have a place that kind of can hold you steady and solid throughout the year. And it might be strange to say, but Kelly, you're talking about kind of imaginal things. You're talking about spiritual things. You're talking about, working with aspects of the self that are not solid. But this is where we make meaning and cohesion and where we integrate our experiences. And that is where the solid part of being a human is created. If we don't have internal meaning and internal integration and understanding of the world and ourselves in it and the larger narrative, that is when we feel lost. And so this is a chance to go through for a whole 12 months with me and a group of people to create and find your own meaning, but also more of a collective meaning. And that's super exciting. I've been in a part of a cohort like that for 7 years, and it has made all the difference in my life. So part of this work is practical, and certainly part of it is spiritual. It is about stepping into and manifesting your most full self, what one would call your authentic self, and work into the world. It's both things. It's an inside job and an outside job. And because these things are all of who we are both beings and doings. So this will affect your practical behavioral life too, in a big way. A couple of things about this program. We will be meeting as a group twice a month. Those things are important to come to. The first call of the month, not so important to be present unless you want to learn in person with me and have your questions answered and stuff. And that's really where the teaching will happen, where I will kind of download the concept for the month and also what we'll be working into and practicing. And that's the first Wednesday of the month. Thus, we're starting on the first Wednesday of April, April Fools. And then the third Saturday of the month, we will be meeting in a longer period of time. It'll be somewhere between 2 and 3 hours, depending how much time we need. And this is where we will actually practice. We will get into the practices. We will get into the techniques. I will most likely, most months, tend a dream of someone's in the group so that we can all witness that. We can all be a part of a collective tending of the dream, which I will teach that technique of how to collectively hold a dream. That person will get to be also have their dream tended if they're in the group and they're not getting a one-on-one time with me to do that. We will also be practicing, if there's a new technique we're learning that month, we will practice those in smaller groups, dyads and triads during that call also. This is a very normal way that we learn how to live into and practice new techniques in this kind of teaching. We're all peers ultimately in this cohort because we're all bringing access to the collective deep imagination. And that call will be really important to be able to do that the third Saturday of the month. So that's the group level of the calls. And then there is a level that you can add on to where you do get to work with me monthly, where we are working on your personal issues, your personal dreams, your personal learning of these techniques. If this is something you want to apply to a practice that you already have, whether you're a therapist or a life coach, or are interested in depth psychology techniques, active imagination techniques, we call them, then I can certainly be your mentor in that. One of my official titles is Mentor of the Academy of the Deep Imagination. I've been studying with Stephen Eisenstadt, who founded Pacifica Graduate Institute the last 7 years, and I've been a part of his dream tending cohort and now a member of his academy. So that's what I'm up to this year. And we're filling up. I'm limiting the size of this cohort. It's going to be cozy and intimate. I see somewhere between 12 and 16 people in the group. And then the people who want to work with me one-on-one, I have much less slots for that, but I still have a few openings in that. So just wanted to say all of that. That is what's going on in my world and will be going on in my world all year. The other chance for you to work with me this year will happen in the quarterly events that I have. And there's actually one this month, which will be the spring equinox event on the 21st, Saturday the 21st. We will be doing a little spring stuff like we do every year at the equinoxes and the solstices. But other than that, this is it. This is what I'm doing this year. So if you're interested, reply to this email. And if it feels like a good fit for you and it feels right, I think you and I should have a conversation. That's what I've been doing. I've been chatting with people, having a short 15, 30, 45-minute conversation with people who are interested in this work, see if it's a good fit for the cohort, see if it's a good fit for your life, really is really what it is, and see which level is really what you're looking for. If you're looking for a group experience, which is a little more accessible financially, or if you want some real one-on-one mentoring and guidance from me this year in this realm. And just know that a couple of things do get to happen in this space. You will be getting a lot of personal insights. You will be working on, expanding your healthy ego in the world. But this is also really the biggest chance of this is to move beyond the ego, to move more into a deeper connection with your soul, with your spirit, with the sense of self and meaning that is bigger than just the conditioned self that lives here day to day in the crazy world we're living in. So that's what I love about this work. For me, the last 7 years, well, certainly the last 20 years, it's been amazing, but me focusing on it the last 7 years, I have made leaps and bounds evolutionarily wise inside of me. Um, and really understanding my life and the meaning of my life in a much deeper level and making choices from a bigger place. And this is one of the choices that has arisen from the work I've done, which is, as you may have heard me speak earlier about this on my podcast or in an email, really moving on from being kind of an entrepreneur, life coach person, which really served me well for a few years. And amazing work has been done, and I have an amazing community and partnerships because of that work. But now moving into my 60s, really knowing that I'm moving into a different phase of life, and it is this phase of life, and it is really what I jokingly call the witchy hag stage of life. But that energy really fits me right now because it is about being that crone elder outsider. And this program is not just for women, by the way, it's for everyone. Like it's not just crone witchy hag stuff. It's that also that Gandalf elder Yoda Obi-Wan Kenobi energy also, right? The wizard energy is here. So, if you're wanting to play in these realms, and want to do it with a lot of fun and irreverence that I bring, and of course, I bring a lot of critical thinking to it. I bring my left brain to it. I am, very much half and half of those two brains. This is not some sort of, leave your intelligence and or your critical thinking at the door. This is about integrating your intelligence and critical thinking and reason with these different ways of looking at the world. I've talked about this man who's been inspiring me the last year, John Vervaeke, cognitive scientist, who's studying the world of the imaginal and why it's such an important aspect of humanity. So that's it. Just wanted to say hello in a video. Do not have the bandwidth to write today, but I will below put a link to, I think we have a basic landing page for this, but really I'll put a link to my Calendly calendar if this is something that you want to talk about. How about that? Risking putting the Calendly link in. And please, please do not use that link to just have a chat with me, especially about my father. I adore my father. I know some of you really do, but this is not about that. This is about getting on a calendar to have a conversation about this program, Kelly's Mystery School, calling in the magic of the inner allies. All right, you guys have a great Wednesday. Enjoy the fact that we're done with the big eclipse this week. And I hope you're doing well. I know the world is big and scary and turbulent right now, but we are made for these times. Have a good one. I can't find the stop button.